Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm back to talk about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 once again because I feel that I left a pretty bad impression on people. They seem to believe that I did really dislike this game, that I hate it, and that I don't recommend it, which is absolutely wrong. I can see why these people think the way they do because they probably watched my previous review 2 months ago. A review that I called Everything Wrong with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So I'm just here back again, guys, to tell you that I actually really like this game because, as I stated in that review, I don't finish games that I don't like. So it speaks volumes that if I finish this game despite my complaints, it's because I really liked it, and in fact, I kinda loved it. Sure, it's not the best Xenoblade Chronicles game, but it's a pretty good game that I strongly recommend, so is it worth playing? Yes, and I'll tell you why in this video, and I'm also going to compare this game to the others in the series, including X, and see if it's really as good as them, or is it better, or is it worse, all of that. Now, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a game that got a reputation. If it's a good or bad reputation, that's entirely up to you, but it got a reputation for its heavy focus on fan service. And that's the reason why a lot of people didn't take this game seriously. Fans of Xenogears, Xenosaga, and the original Xenoblade Chronicles saw footage of this game, saw the trailer, saw the character design, and they were like, what's going on here, you know? Okay, maybe I do like fan service, maybe I don't, but this just doesn't feel right. And I criticized that in my review. It really feels like it's a game that was written by Tetsuya Takahashi in collaboration with Idea Factory or Compile Heart. But anyway, fan service is something that I enjoy. I know a lot of you enjoy, but I also know a lot of you don't enjoy, so it's respectable that you disliked or rejected this game because of that. So the other games in the series, including most recently Xenoblade Chronicles 3, they do have their bits and pieces of fan service, but it's pretty modest. And in this game, they went completely overboard, over the top, which is something that, it just didn't fit with the series at all. But is that really an issue? Is that something that will stop people from playing this game? Like I said, if you don't like fan service or sexualization or whatever, yes, I guess it's no good for you, but if you enjoy fan service, why the hell not? It's still a pretty good game. I guess the other issue we need to address, to compare this game to the other games in the series is the storytelling, the narrative, the dialogues. How in this game it just looks, half of the time it looks kind of silly, it's very cliche, very tropey, it's a very anime-ish, type of video game. And I get that, but still I've played and enjoyed a heck out of those types of video games and JRPGs, and I've strongly recommended a lot of them in this channel, so why shouldn't I recommend this game just because it's kind of silly most of the time? It still has a lot of really dark stuff, really beautiful lore, beautiful world building. When it gets serious, it's amazing writing, and it hooks you up. The story is pretty decent in this game. Despite its silliness, there's really nothing that wrong with it, Some bits and pieces in here and there that are kind of like dumb, but that's okay, it's just comedy. And the gameplay, I know that was the negative highlight of my review. I spent, 80% of the review complaining about the gameplay mechanics, complaining how I often got lost, how there were some really dumbass requirements to do this, to progress with the story, how the leveling system works, the skill tree system works, how, the battle system is kind of convoluted and complicated. Sure, but I've also seen these types of problems or similar problems in a lot of other JRPGs that I have recommended in the past and I really enjoyed in the past. So sure, the game is full of problems, but the thing is, the big difference is that there isn't a single problem in this game that made me personally put the controller down. Sure, it drove me crazy sometimes getting lost and trying to find out where the hell was I supposed to go, but in other JRPGs, it pissed me off so bad that I put the controller down and that I quit. Not in this game, because the gameplay is so good, because the pacing is so amazing, it's a very, very addictive type of game that I just couldn't stop playing it no matter what. Even if I was looking up a walkthrough every 5 minutes, I did that because I really, really wanted to progress and I really, really, really wanted to finish the game. Do the other games in the series have this problem? I've heard a lot of bad things about Xenoblade Chronicles X and how it handles this exploration aspect, and it's kind of worse in some areas, but it's pretty much a Xenoblade characteristic, a Xenoblade feature. If you're gonna play a Xenoblade game, you already know what you're getting into. Sure, the exploration and this GPS system, it's much better in the definitive edition of the first game or in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but still, it's not really that big of an issue enough for me to put the controller down and turn off the game and quit forever. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this game is the combat, actually. Despite my complaints how it got more convoluted and complex and unnecessarily complicated later on, you know, I still beat the game and I still enjoy the combat. In fact, I love Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but, you know, a month after finishing this game, I jumped into the third one, and I had a hard time at the very beginning, you know, getting used to the new combat without the quick time events. Well, the really small quick time events where you need to click the button at the right time to make the combo work or go excellent or great. And but over time, you know, I got used to the combat in Xenoblade 3 and I loved it. But that doesn't mean that I didn't love the combat in this game. Despite my complaints, it's still an awesome combat. I really enjoyed it. I got used to it. It didn't take me forever to get used to it, and I thought it was very intuitive, you know, a little bit strategic, you know, just the way I like it, with your characters moving around. Because I remember this game got a lot of complaints from people saying that you do nothing, that you can just sit back, relax, put the controller down, you know, and let the characters fight by themselves. Sure, you can do that, but eventually you're gonna mess up and they're gonna kill you. You need to move around so you can grab the potions and recover health. You need to move to the side to perform a side attack, or to the back, and you need to perform these break, topple, and daze attacks and whatever. So it's a very creative style of combat. Sure, it kind of went more complicated than necessary, but still, you know, it's something that most people nowadays can easily get used to that. Graphics and music, all the Xenoblade games have the same highlights and the same problems. The games look absolutely beautiful in terms of world and character design and models and whatnot. But yeah, you know, the technicalities, you know, the resolution goes down, the frame rate issues, every single Xenoblade has them. And the music is surprisingly amazing, much better than in the third game, which I think is the best in the series. You know, I really enjoy the music in this game, some of the battle themes, some of the world themes, the overworld themes, the areas. Wow, you know, it's such an amazing game. So how does this game compare to the other Xenoblade games? Well, I really enjoyed it, I do recommend it, I think it's really worth playing, except for the fact that it's a Switch game exclusive and it's still kind of expensive nowadays, even in the freaking Nintendo eShop or the physical release, you know, it still goes for like 40 or 50 bucks and onwards. Man, you know, that sucks, but I mean, if you can get this game for a decent price or for a reasonable price, let's leave it at that, you know, I think it's very worth picking up, especially if you're a fan of the Xenoblade series, and especially if you like fan service, actually, you know. To me, that's not a bad thing. It just doesn't feel like a Xeno game, like a Tetsuya Takahashi game, but it's still, you know, a great JRPG, and it feels like a great JRPG. Torna, however, the DLC that became its own game, well, if you like and love doing meaningless side quests over and over again, then yes, it's very worth it. So yeah, I say, you know, these two games are pretty damn good, and I think they get more hate than what they probably deserve. I know I was kind of harsh on my review 2 months ago, and I don't regret anything I said. I think the games deserve the criticism that I gave them, in my opinion, of course, but they're still very worth playing, especially the second one. So that's it, guys. You know, I just want to clarify that, to make this video to clear the air and say that I really enjoy this game. It's not one of my favorite Switch JRPGs, it's not one of my favorite Xeno games, but I still really enjoyed it. I finished it, and like I said in my previous review, I don't finish games that I don't like. And in this game, I liked it, and I actually kind of loved it. You know, it's no masterpiece, but it is strongly recommended. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!